All right. It's been over a month since the last video, and I have two main updates. We're still in the marketing phase. Update one is uh, that one-on-one messaging, my like brilliant idea to get 100 users was terrible. And it was terrible for two reasons. Mainly for one reason, which was um, it doesn't, it's not very successful. It doesn't scale well. I was kind of running numbers after doing it. I did it for like maybe a week actually, and then I stopped doing it. And once you run the numbers, you realize with like a 1% conversion, which is one person downloads out of every 100 people you message, um, in order to get 100 users, I'd have to send like 10,000 messages. And if I could only send 10 a day, like the math was like 3 years, like just messaging people every day for 3 years to get my first 100 users. Um, so does not scale well. The second part is it was just miserable. Having to sit down and like look people up. Instagram did a good job initially of like when I typed in wedding photographers in Utah, it would show me some stuff, but then it started to be the same people over and over again. So I had to do more and more digging. So like the more messages you send, the deeper I had to dig, which would just take longer. It was also super depressing. Like one-on-one cold DMs is just depressing work to do day after day. So I did that for about a week. Then I kind of just realized there's no way that this is going to scale well. So I spent maybe 2, 3 weeks after that doing really nothing. um, Looking out with some friends, I kind of just took a break and thought about what the next step should be. Um, which brings me to update part two, which is what I'm doing right now, which feels a lot better. At least I've been doing it for a few days and it doesn't feel so pointless. And it's instead of messaging individuals and trying to get them to download the app, I'm messaging apartment complexes. So I like look on Google Maps, I find an apartment complex, I go on their website, I find some kind of contact form or email, and message the apartment complex with a similar message where I basically say, "Hey, we want to host a free event for all of the people who live in the apartment who are in a relationship. So any married couples or people who are like dating in your complex. And ideally, we'd like to do it with another complex, like couples from two apartment buildings hanging out. The main ask that I put in the email is like space, because we just need like a little place to host the event if we do a little social. Um, and then I ask the apartments to like let them know about the date and time. So if we plan something on a Saturday, I just want them to let all of their tenants know, which fixes two things in my head. So if I keep a 1% conversion for these, um, then after messaging 100 apartment complexes, one will reach out. And if I can get one apartment complex to reach out and they can work with me and we actually put on some kind of social, they could potentially have 500 or 1,000 people that they could reach. So um, for the same amount of work, I'm getting more output, which is always nice. The other benefit is when you're emailing people, you don't get limited like Instagram does. So I could send more than 10. But 10 apartment complexes for 10 days is 100. And that could get me my first event. So feels a lot more scalable. Um, I have a little worry in my head that I'm not getting through to any of these apartment complexes. So I might go, if I finish my first 100 and I get nothing, I might switch to calling and just calling up like front desks or visiting apartment complexes, which just feels painful. I'm also a little worried about the value proposition. Like an apartment complex putting on an event for their tenants to meet other people is great for me, but I don't think I've nailed the value proposition yet for the apartment complex. Like I haven't pitched this in a way that they're like super eager and they just want to sink their teeth into it and they want to do it, which I think is really important. Like anytime you're doing sales or marketing, you have to understand the proposition that makes the person that you're messaging um, initiate everything. Like they want to initiate the response and like drive it because they want it so bad. So I don't think I've got there yet. I have to play around with the messaging in my head, but that's what we're doing right now. I'm on like day 4 of doing this, and I've messaged 25 apartment complexes. Um, and that's what we're doing. I'm going to start here in my area and then just work my way north and south until I can get an apartment complex or two to agree, and then I have to figure out how to plan events. Now I turned from a marketing person into an event planner and an event coordinator. So the number of hats ever grows, but that's where we're at right now. It's still kind of a grind, but I'm hoping that by the end of the summer we might have an event or two and have some users, and we'll be in a better spot. So that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next video.